James,
it's 100,000 in
a
cash.
case of people just trying to wipe the slate clean?
Well, I shouldn't be wiping the slate clean. It should be the beginning of something larger, I think. The 100,000 is a symbolic amount, and who knows how much money they have. But the point is, it's important that it's public because we're talking about it. We haven't wrestled with our colonial history, and exactly as Emily was saying, in the English-speaking Caribbean, they really want to have this debate, and it's important for them to know that lots of the wealth that was gathered up here, not by the majority of people in this country, by a few very rich families, was off the backs of their ancestors. And so they want to be having that debate.
So should my answer...
This is not a boundary case.
No, but
this
is not a boundary case.
This is a guy who was
there are loads of Irish people that would like reparations. Are you going to be the first in line to give them some?
But that's not the point you were
No,
making.
but that is the point because
they shouldn't publicly
hold on. I made several
apologise.
points. I said one, this is a public exercise in them spit shining their halo, which it is. No one needs to know about them. They're not more virtuous in my eyes. This doesn't help anyone. But also, if we're talking about slavery reparations, which we are, if we're talking about slavery reparations, there were loads of people that were slaves from various parts of the world. Where does this end? And no one wants to answer that question because they know it is ludicrous and you'll never have an endpoint.
This is very obviously not a boundary case, though, right? You've got somebody whose son became prime minister, who his son spoke in Parliament against abolishing the slave trade. It was on his plantation that the Demerara slave uprising began.
He did, by the way, change it later on in his career. I mean, he was a great, he did switch.
Sure, but the money that he got, he was, I think, the third biggest recipient of compensation that...
His father was, yeah.
His father was the third biggest. So for that family... Part of the reason why they've got so much money, presumably, today, is because they got paid off for, first of all, because they did slavery, and then they got paid off for it.
But you can extend that argument anywhere. Part of the reason why we're sitting here in this very wealthy, successful country, for instance, is off the back of many people and basically being enslaved in parts of China. Do we have to do the same thing? The reason why I'm making the point as to where this is end is because everyone sitting in this room are beneficiaries of some sort of slavery. At some point, a lot of it modern and current. Where is your shirt from?
Great, this is fantastic.
No, because the thing is, I can make the argument about that your shirt being off the back of modern slavery.
I love your argument. I think we should take it further. I think this should be a starting point. No one gets the slate wiped clean from this. The starting point from this should say, oh, now we really should talk about why there is such injustice between, for example, Guyana or the English Caribbean
to what end?
And the UK.
To rectify it by just giving them more money?
No, I would, change the trade system, change global patents, change economic structures. Those are the things that we could do long term. And you could unite the majority of people in Britain and the majority of people in former colonised countries, because the majority of people in Britain also were exploited by the ruling class in this country.